Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how they are wishing the worst for you behind the scenes. A lot of these beings we don't involve ourselves with, we don't engage with on those certain levels anymore. And most of us don't really understand what be happening to us when we wake up in good vibrations. Everything is flowing smooth, you know, the way that you would like it flowing, or the way that you're used to having it flowing without any weird distractions or frictions. But a lot of the times when you have off the wall weird things happening to you, 10 times out of 10 is usually other beings that you either know of or that know of you that are working spells against you. So when you have people talking negatively about you, or just putting weird witchy energies and condensation on your name, that vibration is trying to find you in the spirit world. So it's kind of like if I speak highly of someone, eventually that energy reaches them. I don't have to talk with them physical, face to face, on the phone, but their energy is being presented and spoken outwardly for the universe, and it's going to try to reach where it's supposed to go to. So if we know that we can send people, you know, healing, blessings, you know, all these high vibrating energies that's going to heal you and help you, then we should understand that there are beings out here who don't have your best interests at heart. And these are like some subtle ways that you can always tell that people are discussing you when you are not around. And this happens often. This happens far too often. But if a lot of us don't take into account, you know, the friction that we just had with somebody, or the weird conversation we just had with somebody, or you may have just had some witchy energy with some of your relatives, friends, family in the past, and you may have resurfaced up in one of their conversations, so now you're kind of being spoke of. When we are speaking and doing these things, we are putting a vibration out there. That's why they always say it's important to speak life into yourself and to others around you, because if you can speak healness, you can speak illness. If you can speak healness, you can speak illness. So I just be getting to a better space of understanding and knowing when I got like weird things happening to me, that I think about all the situations that I had with, not all of them, but the most recent ones and the ones that weigh the most. I process those together, and then I figure out how much of that witchy energy are they trying to send me. And even if I don't process how much they're trying to send me, I'll automatically compile them all into one box, and I'll be like, I don't know which one it is per se, but I know that it's some weird energy coming from this way. I need to take some extra precaution steps to make sure I keep my energy protected. And if you don't take these precaution steps, then once you start having these weird things happen to you, it can really throw your day off balance. And we all know what happens when your day gets thrown off balance. You just start kind of miscalculating everything, you know what I'm saying? From just driving past certain locations to forgetting something in the store, forgetting to take something to the store, you know what I'm saying? Just running behind on time. You got stuff breaking that never breaks, bobbling things that you never bobble. It kind of almost throws you into a disarray, and that's kind of serving its purpose. That's why they're speaking ill intentions, you know what I'm saying? So I've been kind of similar to that space recently, because I haven't been doing a whole lot of like engaging with others, but I know for the ones that I have engaged with recently that the conversations, or we didn't separate on the best of terms, I knew that it was some witchy energy being spoken of about me, you know what I mean? And I don't care, you know, you cannot control people and what they saying and what they doing, especially if they're not in your space. But what you can do is you can control how you protect your energy, how you keep your energy safe, you know what I'm saying? And all the things that you need to do to make sure that you are not getting drained all the way out, you know what I mean? If you ever use your phone when it's on like 5% or 10%, you realize that it doesn't really operate at its full capacity the way you like it to operate at. So some of your apps may be loading slow. and maybe always keep trying to pop on and connect to the Wi-Fi or some weird shit, you know what I'm saying? So these are all things that we have to take into account, you know, because you're not always going to be present when people is speaking ill on you, you know, and speaking harmful things over your spirit, your energy, you know what I'm saying? That's casting a spell. These beings are casting spells, and we all do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's important to be mindful and to be aware, you know what I mean? So once you able to kind of start putting these steps together, hand to hand, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, you know what I'm saying? It makes the day flow a lot smoother. And for some of us, we get warning signs and we just don't pay attention to it. And I realize, like, the more you ascend and you're out here in this demonic realm, the signs are more frequent. You just have to be aware of them. So, like, one small example, yesterday I had like a motorcycle cop pull up on me while I was in traffic. It was like 3-4 cars in front of me. It was like over 5 cars behind me. But he pulls up to my car in between traffic, knocks on the passenger window. It's like, put your cell phone down. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I put it down because you got the blue lights on right here. But I use my phone. Like, it's other things that you could be out here stopping and causing from happening. So that he didn't give me a ticket or anything for that. He just made a fucking scene. You know what I mean? And that was a warning sign. Because today, soon as I leave out, another cop, an undercover cop, I seen him. I made sure I switched lanes behind him because I needed to make a U-turn. And soon as I switch lanes and I'm getting in the other lane, I'm basically in the turn lane where I need to go to bust my U-turn. He gonna put his lights on to come right behind me. Oh, you know, you're not supposed to be using your cell phone. I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, you know you're supposed to be preventing crime from happening, right? Like, I didn't get mad that he pulled me over and then he wrote me a ticket for using my cell phone, right? Because I literally just picked it up. And I was like, let me check the location real quick. So I picked it up, checked the location as I'm switching lanes behind him, and that's what he do. But I tell him in the process when he comes back from writing my ticket, I'm like, you could be out here doing something more helpful with your life opposed from running around writing these pointless ass tickets. You know what I mean? Like, I can speak how I want to speak when they already doing what they doing. One thing about me, look, I don't give a fuck who it is. I am going to speak appropriately, and I will figure out a way to use my words to convey the message that needs to be conveyed. You know what I'm saying? I was on the phone while he had pulled me over. He didn't tell me to sit the phone down. Bitch, I'm already pulled over in the turn lane. So I'm just on the phone. Anytime I get pulled over, I call somebody. I'm a brown male in Western society. I don't per se say they're gonna do something, but I always make sure that I call somebody just in case, because my skin is still brown. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on the phone just hee-hee-ha-ha and laughing and shit. The other person I'm on the phone with, they just laughing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we know it's not serious. Like, it's real shit you could be out here doing and preventing from happening. But these dickheads, these witches gotta meet quotas and shit. So that's why I say, like, it's weird that people lean on the police and lean on the system so much. They don't have your best interests at heart. People be like, oh, well, you could have gotten into an accident if you're using your cell phone. So, bitch, I could have ran over walking across the street. So what? You live your life in fear. I don't live my life in fear. I've been into one car accident my entire life that was my fault. Going on 38. I've been in one car accident that was my fault. And that was from using my cell phone, not paying attention. But I had an old lady in front of me who slammed on her brakes. So that was a little bit different. And I was a little discombobulated coming from work and school and blah, 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 blah. But that's using your cell phone. You want to pull me over, write me a ticket for using my cell phone. But then you got all these white people, brown people who got their dogs in their laps. So this is what I mean by understanding how these witches have to attack you. So you can come up with whatever excuse you want to. Oh, you're not supposed to be using your phone. You shouldn't have a dog riding in your lap. My child has to put a seatbelt on, but the dog doesn't. The dog don't even have to be in a crate. See, I don't fall for these witchy spells and shit that's going to kind of like throw my energy off or get me discombobulated, because I always say fuck you and fuck the system every time I see these entitled motherfuckers riding around with dogs on their laps, dogs in their front cars, dogs not in their seats. You know what I mean? So it's like, y'all don't give a fuck about this kind of stuff. Y'all out here just doing things for the dollar bill that you need to. But I say that to say, like, I caught my warning sign the day before. I don't believe in coincidences, because I've never had this shit happen before, and then I had it happen 2 days in a row. One sent me a warning, the motorcycle cop, oh, I got 30 minutes, I don't want to have to write no paperwork. Don't, nigga. You saying it like you're doing me a favor. Fuck you and that paperwork. You aren't doing me no favor, bitch. You realize I'm the spiritual being. When I leave here, that paperwork doesn't come with me. This disgusting work that you're doing, that energy comes with you. You're out here running around trying to instill more fear into society just because you can. That shit don't work on me, big dog. I laughed in the cop face today. I don't play that shit. The worst thing you could possibly try to do is send me to prison, which I would have to go to jail before prison. And I've already been through those locations already. So you pulling up talking about a cell phone ticket, bruh, you pay it, bitch. That's how I be feeling. But I had the warning sign, and I already knew that people were sending me witchy energy because of the week prior and the week before that as well too. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of expecting something weird and witchy to happen in my life, that it was going to be something really light that the opposition can put a lot of weight on. It's always going to be something light that the opposition can put a lot of weight on. You know what I'm saying? So that shit doesn't. I was only out the house for about an hour today before that whole situation transpired, and I was just kind of like, it was kind of like a laughing moment, because when you done been through a lot of shit, you can kind of see how the entities are working in the spirit world. You know what I mean? Like, it just becomes very obvious. And then when you realize that, you know, this isn't our home. We're just passing through this realm. We're passing through. So as you're writing that, I realized, oh, this doesn't stick with me. This doesn't stay. I actually was doing more solid work than you. So that's actually going to follow you. So what you think you're doing is helping and working is actually hurting you. You're putting yourself in a worse place spiritually by doing these kind of things. You gotta allow people to dig their own graves, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to throw them a shovel or a porch pick or two, you can, you know what I'm saying? Here you go. Finish digging yourself, bitch. I ain't about to help you dig yourself. Dig yourself. You know what I mean? So you just gotta be aware of what's actually happening out here and what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I just only use those as light examples because it's like, I seen the signs yesterday. I was out the house less than an hour today. I had situations, I could name at least 3 people at the minimum who I know for sure most likely was sending me some demonic energy, some witchy energy. I know for sure at least 3 of them. At least. And you know, the opposition always ride with more, but as far as that has access to my physical vessel that I would possibly be able to connect the dots spiritually, that's still a lot of beings in different locations that's wishing the worst. You know what I'm saying? That's sending the worst energy possible. So a lot of things isn't always going to be your fault. You know what I'm saying? I could look and take a portion and say, oh yeah, it's my fault for using the cell phone, but so what? That wasn't causing any harm to anybody. I don't live my life in fear. People could say, oh, you could have did this and you could have did that. Yeah, you could have shut the fuck up too. I don't live by that space. I don't live by that space. My team, we don't live in fear. We do not live in fear. You know what I mean? So all the people who lean towards the other side of the spectrum, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta realize where you getting your information from and what team you riding from when you process and think about things in that light or that manner. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't have your best interests at heart. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your friends, family, peers, they don't have your best interests at heart. And you'll know it when things are just flowing too smoothly and shit just starts happening. You know what I'm saying? This is all, it's like the storm. You know, that's why that statement is so prevalent, because it's like a storm. Once the storm is happening, it's always some kind of subtle, quote unquote, eye of the storm that happens. You know what I'm saying? You look at the hurricane spinning this way, it's creating all this shit from right here, it gets closer to you, it gets really hard. Then as soon as that joint gets a little bit past you, you end up inside of it. It's almost like it's subtle inside, and then it re-warps and start going crazy again. It's the same thing out here, you know what I'm saying? He getting closer and closer cutting this grass, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna run it up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.